You know, there are days in history that just stop everything. Days that get burned into the collective memory of the entire world. September 11th, 2001 was one of those days. For those of us who remember it, it feels like yesterday. For those who don't, it's a chapter in a history book. But it was so much more than that. Hello, welcome to the Lake Solaric Tube. Today we will dive deep into the events of the 9/11 attacks and try to piece together the truth behind that day. So what really happened on that clear blue Tuesday morning? It all started at 8:46 a.m. Eastern Time. American Airlines Flight 11, a passenger plane hijacked by terrorists, slammed into the North Tower of the World Trade Center in New York City. At first, news channels reported it as a possible tragic accident. A small private plane, maybe? But then, just 17 minutes later at 9:03 a.m., the world watched in live televised horror as a second plane, United Airlines Flight 175, banked sharply and crashed into the South Tower. In that moment, everyone knew. This was no accident, this was an attack. The chaos wasn't confined to New York. At 9:37 a.m., a third plane, American Airlines Flight 77, crashed into the Pentagon in Arlington, Virginia, the very heart of the U.S. military. And then there was a fourth plane, United Airlines Flight 93. This one was different. Passengers and crew, having learned about the other attacks through phone calls, decided to fight back. Their struggle in the cockpit led the plane to crash into a field in Shanksville, Pennsylvania, at 10:03 a.m. They were heroes who prevented the hijackers from hitting their intended target, which was likely the U.S. Capitol or the White House in Washington, D.C. So the question that hung in the smoke-filled air was, why? Who would do this and for what reason? The attacks were orchestrated by the Islamist extremist group Al-Qaeda, led by Osama bin Laden. Their motives were a complex and twisted mix of religious and political grievances. Bin Laden was infuriated by the presence of U.S. troops in Saudi Arabia, the home of Islam's holiest sites. He condemned U.S. support for Israel and the sanctions against Iraq. He saw the United States as a corrupting imperialist power, and he issued a fatwa, or a religious decree calling for a holy war, a jihad, against Americans. 9/11 was his devastating way of bringing that war directly to American soil. Now imagine being the President of the United States on that day. George W. Bush was in Sarasota, Florida, visiting an elementary school. An aide famously whispered the news into his ear while he was reading a book to a group of second graders. You can see the shock and gravity instantly wash over his face in the photos. He remained composed in front of the children, but behind the scenes, a whirlwind of action was unleashed. He was whisked away to Air Force One, which became a mobile command center in the sky, as there were fears the White House itself was a target. From the air, he authorized the military to shoot down any commercial airliners that didn't comply with orders to land. That evening, he returned to the White House and addressed a stunned and grieving nation, vowing, "We will make no distinction between the terrorists who committed these acts and those who harbor them." The aftermath of 9/11 reshaped our world. Nearly 3,000 people lost their lives that day, from over 90 different countries. In the immediate aftermath, there was an incredible unifying wave of patriotism and global solidarity. But the long-term consequences were profound and are still felt today. The U.S. launched the War on Terror, beginning with the invasion of Afghanistan to topple the Taliban regime that was sheltering Al-Qaeda. This was followed by the controversial invasion of Iraq in 2003. At home, airport security changed forever. We got the Transportation Security Administration, or TSA, with its long lines, shoe removals, and liquid restrictions. The Patriot Act was passed, giving the government sweeping new surveillance powers, which sparked a fierce and ongoing debate about security versus civil liberties. 9/11 was a scar, but it also revealed incredible stories of heroism and resilience, from the first responders who ran into burning buildings to the passengers of Flight 93, to the everyday people who helped each other through the dust and chaos. It's a day to remember the lives lost, to understand the forces that shaped our present, and to honor the enduring strength of the human spirit in the face of unimaginable darkness. Thank you for joining us on this journey through history. If you found this video insightful, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more historical contents. Stay curious and see you in the next video.